another episode of the University of Rio Grande Women's Basketball Talk Show. I'm assistant coach Brandon Bias, joined, as always, by head coach David Smalley. Welcome, Coach.
Glad to be here. Guess what we get to do today, Coach? What do we get to do today?
I'm guessing it's game day.
It's game day, baby. Game day against one of the better teams in the conference, and we're excited and we're pumped, ready to go.
Yeah, and before we get into today's game and Thursday's game, we're currently 22-1. Let's look back at the last two games we played on the road that tested us in many different ways. Let's start with the first game of our road trip to Indiana, St. Mary's of the Woods.
St. Mary of the Woods, one of the few schools that I haven't been to in my 30-year tenure here, and it was a new experience. Our bus driver, Jeff Nelson, did a great job getting us up there. We actually did fight through a little bit of snow on the way from St. Mary's to Kokomo, but St. Mary's is a nice facility, nice place. I think the institution was started in 1840. You know, think about that, the history of all of that going on in 1840. And they gave us a great game. They're a very talented team that we did not underestimate, as we never underestimate an opponent, but they kind of jumped out and gave us some energy that maybe we didn't expect. But the end result was good. The end score ended up 96 for Rio and 74 for St. Mary of the Woods. We beat them on the rebounding statistical category, 56-34. And if you're going to win games in this day and age, you gotta win the rebounding battle. So proud of our players for that. We had 23 assists to their 14. Again, we started out kind of slow, but then got a lot of momentum as the game went on. And we're very unselfish, as that's been one of our themes. And I think it's one of the big ingredients as to why we're as successful as we are at this particular point, the unselfishness within the entire program. We had 14 turnovers to their 18, so that's a slight victory for us there. And again, our bench, can't say enough about our bench. Our bench scored 43 points to St. Mary's 29, and that was huge. And speaking of the bench, Jocelyn Abraham came off the bench in 16 minutes, 17 points and 8 rebounds. Reagan Willingham, 2 for 4 at the three-point line, so that's always good to see Reagan start stroking those threes for 50%. Harley Antrit, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Haley Jordan, 18.7 rebounds. Ella Skeens, 15 points, 6 rebounds. China Chambers, 11 points, 7 assists. And Kaylee Darnell, 9 points and 9 rebounds. So overall, statistically, great bench contribution, great bench effort, good team effort, and we got that W at St. Mary's. Then we make the journey down to Kokomo, and that was a tedious white-knuckle journey because we had to drive through a lot of snow. We got kind of rerouted off of the main highway, and we're taking some back roads, and I'm thinking, oh, are we ever going to get there? And we got there just in time for practice. And IU Kokomo has a new facility. First time we've been there in a couple of years due to COVID. We didn't play them at all last year. So they're in a nice facility, which is much better than what they used to play in. And we squeaked, let me say that again, squeaked and got by with an 83-79 victory against a very scrappy, aggressive, athletic IU Kokomo team that their record doesn't indicate how good they are right now. They've just finally got their pieces together. They had some injuries early. It's the same roster that they started the year out, and they were losing games, and we're kind of like thinking, that probably doesn't sound right, but they have everybody back, and they have some premier players, and they put a little press on us that we knew they were going to do it. We kind of got soft and just didn't seem to meet the aggression that they had. And then it was another game where there were 59 fouls called and 80-some free throws shot, and
those are fun.
And the game went so long that the radio went off air because of the time span. So
during the most crucial part of the game, the last minute,
39 seconds, I think Randy said he had no clue what was going on, so he had to kind of ad-lib a little bit. So in that game, we again won the rebounding battle 40-32. Not as great as we would like to, but we did win that one. And free throws. Now understand this. IUK was 30 of 41 at the free throw line for 73%, 41 attempts. Rio was 29 for 40 attempts for 73%. So we both shot about the same percentage and both shot about the same number of attempts. They made one more than we did, but that's a lot of free throws. That's actually 81 free throws attempted. So that kind of nullified there. Threes, we were 5 for 10 for 50%. They were 6 for 22 for 27%. Some highlights in that game: Darnell ended up with 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Ella Skeens, 19 points and 8 rebounds. Haley Jordan, 11 points and 3 rebounds. And Avery Harper, coming off the bench, as she has done tremendously over the season, 12 points, 6 rebounds. And let me tell you something. I got an asterisk here by she hit 2 big threes, and that was late in the game. And I thought that was a separation thing that just maybe because I don't know that they did a great job scouting. I think maybe one of the better teams that's been prepared for us, and they took us out of some things. I don't know that they were cognizant of the fact that Miss Harper can step out and do what she did. I think she hit one top of the key, which is kind of her home base, and then I think she hit one kind of in the coffin corner, so to speak. But those were huge for us for that 83-79 win, and I was extremely pleased after being down 7-0, and then it seemed like it was 10 or 11-2 there for a while. At the end of the first quarter, we're down 23-15, and just like, what's going on? That's the first time I think we've been in a deficit like that in the early going. So thought we held composure, did a good job, and got a tough win on the road against 2 pretty decent opponents.
Yeah, and it was really tough to stay undefeated in the state of Indiana as we have all year. So big shots by Avery, senior, tonight being senior night, her and China getting to participate in that. What better player to pull us out of a hole than one of our seniors? And I think Avery hit 2 crucial threes, and I think she needed that personally, but she also knew the team needed it. So she's always been there for us when we've needed her over the past 4 years, and she did it one last time there. Hopefully we don't get in any more holes that we need dug out of, but if we are, I believe that her and China will be there once again to do that.
Well, China and Avery are foundation blocks. They've been in the program numerous years. I think this is Avery's 4th and China's 5th, if I'm correct. And they are our program. And for in that particular case for Avery to step up, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, she's done that all of her career and just had a tremendous career. And China, she may have a game where she has 9 assists. She hit some big free throws in that same game that Avery probably did the separation with her threes. China hit, I'm thinking, 4 free throws kind of down the stretch that we missed those. That creates a different complexion of what happened. So I've been blessed throughout the years when the seniors make it to this point. They're invested, they're there, and these two, it's the same quality of senior production, and we're excited for them as seniors. Certainly hate to see them move on, but it's time. I think Avery's going on to dental school, and China still has some more schooling to do with her nursing. China's athletic eligibility is up. Avery, I think, has 1 more year, but she's made a very conscientious, positive, mature decision to go on with the dental school preparation. So we're proud of them, happy for them, and looking forward to that celebration tonight. Maybe hopefully that'll be a big plus for us going against a tough IU East team.
Correct. And hopefully we're all celebrating afterwards. So let's look forward to tonight's game. IU East, conference rival. It seems like year in, year out, it's between one of us who's going to win the conference, who's going to win the division. If not, it's very close and similar. I believe that, mostly it's been split every year. If you play 2 games, you're at least splitting. I think there's been a sweep maybe 1 or 2 years out of 7. So, we got them at home. We would be fools not to think that this isn't circled on their calendar for a payback. What can we anticipate, or what can we expect to see tonight for the IU East game?
Well, first of all, you're going to see, I think, 2 very, very solid, great, good teams. And we're ranked, and we've had that privilege throughout the year. They're good enough to be ranked. They are better than some teams that are in that top 25, guarantee it, and I'll stand by that 100%. So you're going to see a great basketball game. Coach Selhorst, she's a competitor. She's a good friend, and she's going to be prepared. And they're probably going to throw some things at us that maybe we're not prepared for. We, on the other hand, good ball club, good team. We're well prepared. We feel confident, and we're at home, but that doesn't give you 100% out. We've got to play. We've got to be able to handle their ability to drive. They're going to spread the floor, and they're going to drive. They shoot a ton of threes, and it doesn't matter. You could bring a professional team in here, and if you can throw some threes in, you're going to create a difference in the game. And they have that ability. They're putting up 25 to 30 threes a game, so we got to guard and defend against that. They have to guard and defend against us, our length on the inside. So it's going to be a great game. It's one of those kind of, I wish it could be an out-of-body experience for us coaches where we could just gravitate and get out and go and sit and watch. But we're good, but we can't be at two places at the same time. So they're going to throw some things at us. And again, it's going to be kind of determined by the officiating. More games this season have been kind of influenced by the style of officiating. I'm not saying it's a bad officiating. It's just the type of style that they are calling. If they're calling a lot of tight stuff, we're going to get to free throw line 80 times. We've been there. We've done that. If it's a very physical type of game, which sometimes that can go positive or negative to a team. So we got to adjust to that too. But two great teams coming into it. It's senior night for us. I believe we have a good sponsor tonight as well. So we're excited.
Yeah, so you talk about being open to the style of officiating. When we played down there, we were fortunate enough to win by 17, but for the free throw attempts, IU East had 34 and we only had 7. I mean, but if you could give us 3 keys to the game, and I'm putting you on the spot, what are 3 keys for us to beat IU East tonight?
Well, for me, it's the rebounding. We got to control the rebounding. We got to be able to stifle and limit their threes down the stretch. And again, I think it's going to be a free throw situation. We've got to hit free throws, and I'm proud of our team. You know, we have I always wanted 78%, and Kaylee Darnell kind of reversed that on me with 87, and we're not up at 87, but some games we're 81, 82, 83. We need to be in the high 70s, low 80s, and we need to get to the free throw line. And we've got to win that free throw battle, whether it's if we're shooting 40 or we're only shooting 7 and they're shooting 7. We've got to win the free throw battle, the rebounding battle, and then we got to be able to defend them at the 3.
Yeah. So game's over. We've moved on. We're on Wednesday preparing for West Virginia Tech. What do we have to look forward to on Thursday when we play West Virginia Tech?
And I think our game with Tech is probably circled numerous times. They are a Jekyll and Hyde team, and I say that with respect. They have a good team. They got pieces. They have a new coach, a new system. They've been peaks and valleys. They've been playing. They started out the year kind of down, adjusting to the new concepts that they were going through. Then they started playing really well. Now I'm not so sure where they are, but anytime you have the Justice twins and the Ball on the inside, a nice post player, and then they have some other pieces, they can be tough, and they're tough down there. Don't know exactly where we're playing yet, if it's at the is it Armory? Or,
the Armory, or maybe in Summersville.
Or there's 2 or 3 venues that they have to determine where the game's going to be played due to their situation there, which we don't know that yet, and that could play into a little bit, but it's going to be a great game. They can shoot threes, they can get you off the bounce, and they have a good inside game. So it's always been a traditional rivalry. I think the last time we played down at the Armory, I think they got us by 9, 10, or 11.
Conference
championship last year, and again, officiating, I think we had a lot of early whistles that kind of put us behind the 8 ball, but hey, it's part of it. We just got to make it happen. But 2 great games this week, 2 rivalries, and 2 games that can still determine the outcome of what's going to happen in who wins the league, and we don't even know how that's going to happen, if that's going to be just a East and West thing, if the crossover games are going to be a part of the equation. I don't know. Just kind of shake your head. The only thing to do is to do what, Coach?
Show up and play.
Show up and win. Show up and play and win.
Yeah, so before we let you go, I kind of want to talk on that because you alluded on the first game about reviewing St. Mary's about how well our bench did and has done every game. But whenever we get in that early foul trouble, which as coaches, I mean, it's some ticky-tack stuff right out the gate. It's like, why do you call that? It's not called in men's basketball. Why are we calling it in women's basketball? But when we have had those, we've been able to adjust, and people from our bench has went in and held the fort down until they would go back in either in the second or third quarter. How important has the bench play been, and how important will it be for us to succeed these last 7 games?
Well, let me explain it the way that I know how. This is my 30th year, and I've had some tremendous teams over the course of 30 years. I don't think that's surprising anybody. I've never had a team to be as tremendous as we are and to have the depth of the bench coming in. That's the key, and that's been kind of why maybe we've not been in the top 25 as much as some other programs throughout the years. We just haven't had the ammunition or the resources to make sure that we have good quality people that have the ability to come in off the bench and keep it flatline or increase or improve our ability to continue to play. And again, some of these players, for example, Jocelyn, who just could not throw a free throw in the ocean if she was standing on the cliffs in California. But now, she had some tutelage, confidence. We think we've corrected that, and now she's got a lot of confidence. And she had 17 points in a game where she went 1 for 4 or 0 for 4, I can't remember, at the free throw line. So she could have been in the 20s. So again, it's just energy and effort and hunger. And when players get an opportunity, and sometimes it takes some players a little longer, and that's nothing wrong with, that's not a cut. It's just when your time is there and you take advantage of it and you've done the work. And I'm excited about that because the difference in us now, in the past, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can go deep. And in any given night, it could be a different combination of 2, 3, or 4 players coming off the bench.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully next week, whenever we meet back up here, we're 24-1, but appreciate your time. And now we're going to bring on a couple players. Welcome back. I'm now joined by freshman Zoe Smith and senior Avery Harper. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Yay. It's senior night for Avery. It's another game day for Zoe. So we're going to kind of get different perspectives on the season from both of them. Avery, your number one goal your whole career since you've been here, you've told me you want to win a conference championship and you want a ring.
Yep.
Can you tell me how this season has been compared to the last 3 years?
We've been very successful this season. I think just the depth on the bench, the relationships we have with each other, the competition that goes on in practice, I think it's just a whole step up from my past 3 years, and I'm really excited for the rest of the season and the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. And then Zoe, as a freshman, coming from high school where maybe everybody leaned on you to, do everything, to getting to come be a part of a team where, you get to find yourself and do what you do. How's that been for you this season?
At first it was hard, like the transition from being like that go-to person and just being another role player, but I think it has been easier. The girls make it super easy to kind of fill in that role, and they make it super competitive in practice, and I'm getting better just playing against them. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So Avery, can you care to elaborate on our 2-game swing against the teams in Indiana, St. Mary's of the Wood and Kokomo? St. Mary's, a little bit, we pulled away pretty early, but, was never in doubt. IU Kokomo, on the other hand, you pulled us out of the hole, man. Can you tell us how good it was to get 2 wins on the road?
Yeah, those 2 tough road wins. I mean, anytime you have to travel 5.5, 6 hours, kind of sucks. But I think we stayed the course. We played 2 good games. Kokomo was a little bit closer. I was a little nervous, but we pulled it out. I think that everyone kind of just stepped up and did what we needed to do to get the win. Well,
the coaching staff would beg to differ that you felt nervous when you were banging those 3-pointers in for us.
Yeah.
And Zoe, how has it felt to go from going 45 minutes to play your teams to going 5 hours to play teams and traveling, staying in hotels for 3 and 4 days when you're playing, and scouting reports compared to high school?
Compared to high school, most of the time, our high school coaches kept us prepared, but we were usually doing scouting report like the day before a game. Now we're doing scouting report a week in advance, 3 or 4 days in advance, and we're traveling on the road 5 to 6 hours, and it's hard, especially when we're on the short bus. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's a lot different than high school, but I think I'm actually enjoying it more than high school.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Red Storm fans? We're 22-1, and we're on the short bus.
Yes.
We want the long bus with outlets.
Put us on the long bus.
There we go. So maybe we win these 2 games, and they'll reevaluate, and we'll get on the long bus. Looking forward to the game, IU East and West Virginia Tech. We've played them earlier in the season. We're going to play them. Avery, what do you expect tonight from IU East?
I expect their best. Anytime you play Tech or you play IU East, they give Rio Grande their best game of the year.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry game. It's exciting. Makes the atmosphere is just better when you're at home. So I'm excited to play tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And then Zoe, being a freshman and figuring out who our rivals are and who we play against and stuff, that first game at IU East, the intensity and how it went, I mean, what do you expect to see tonight?
I expect it to be heightened. We're here. We're still undefeated in the league. They have made great strides in the league as well. It's a huge rivalry game, and I think that it'll be very exciting. Hopefully that we can get some of our fans in there, and they'll bring a good atmosphere, and it'll be good for us.
Yeah, definitely. We play well at home. Hopefully we get some fan support. Tonight's Holzer night. They've got some employees and family coming out to the game, so hopefully everybody could come. It's senior night for Avery and China, so a lot of great things. So kind of leading into that, Avery, you know, you've been here for 4 years, kind of look down memory lane. What are some things that you appreciate about your experience here at Rio?
I've had a great college basketball experience, college experience in general. The first thing that comes to mind is my freshman year when we went to Hawaii. That was probably the highlight. And then, you know, you go through some rough patches last year with COVID and everything, and but I think this year is a good rebound from that. You know, highs and lows, but overall it's just been a great experience. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I've got here, that Coach Smalley gave me to come here and play, and I'm just really thankful.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, Zoe, what has it meant to play with Avery for the year? I mean, she's kind of the mother hen of the group and takes care of everybody. So how has she helped you during your first year?
We had a conversation earlier in the year about some things, and she's just always kind of been there for me, always been there to support me, kind of pick me up when she could see it all over my face that I was down on myself and stuff like that. So she's just been great to play under, and I am going to try as I get older and as I go throughout my career here to model the way that I lead after Avery and the way that she leads. So I'm very thankful that I've gotten to play under her, and
yeah, that's some big thoughts right there. So also, you know, we also have some other seniors that will be going through this in Michelle Carter, Hannah Coleman, and Macy Siders. And you'll be able. Can you kind of talk about your relationship with them, Avery, over the course of your tenure?
Yeah. So my freshman year came in with Hannah and Macy, and then Michelle was a sophomore when I got here. But yeah, we've had a really good relationship with them. You know, preseason with them each year, we all kind of go through it together, and you just kind of build a bond and a relationship when you do hard things together.
Yeah, definitely. And also Aaliyah Howell. Aaliyah Howell's been a very important piece of our program as well. All of you have played a huge part, all 6 of you, of getting us to where we need to go. Hopefully all of you have had a great experience while you've been here. And tonight, hopefully we get to honor our seniors with a victory and celebration afterwards with cake. I'm on a diet. I'm not going to eat. I'll give mine to Coach Smalley. He usually likes to. If Margaret's there, he'll only eat one piece, but if she's not, he'll eat a few.
If she's there, he might not eat any.
So come out tonight. We play at 5:30 against IU East. We only have 2 more regular season home games after this. This is a special group, and when they're gone, you won't have a chance to come and watch what we're telling you is one of the best show on the court. So come out, watch us at 5:30. Until next Tuesday, we'll see you later.